So there were 10 NBA teams that didn't make the play-in tournament or the playoffs, right? And so they essentially failed this season, but some of these teams have a really bright future and some of them do not.
Yes.
So I think teams that have a really bright future are these teams with a really young core and all their draft picks.
Yeah.
Like the Pistons. If I'm a Detroit fan, I know there's not many out there, but I'm optimistic.
And that if they can get the number one pick,
Especially, man, if you get Victor Wembanyama, like that is a game changer.
Yeah, and then I think obviously the Thunder, especially if they make the
the Thunder, because I know I didn't have the Thunder even making the play-in.
Yeah,
and they could make the playoffs
and still have all those draft picks.
They have 4 number 1 draft picks upcoming this year, and then they have. I think 6 first-rounders the next year, and then 6 the year after that.
Yeah. So
they are so stacked. It's insane.
Well, and they have Chet Holmgren coming back. He could be a bust.
He's overrated. This man is skinny Zion. He's going to play. This might age poorly, but he's going to play just about as many games as Zion in 4 years. But he's on the other end of the spectrum. He's too skinny.
Chet Holmgren's going to average 20 games a season for his first four seasons.
We're already at 0 for 82.
Yeah.
So
true. Hey, Embiid was like that. He missed like 3 out of his first
Embiid
4
wasn't
seasons.
170 pounds.
No, but he still got injured. He had foot problems, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think the Thunder.
Embiid is Chet Holmgren's white.
Yeah,
he's already at a disadvantage.
That's true. But you got the Thunder definitely. And the Jazz, I think they got a bright future.
The Jazz have such a bright future. I know I ragged on them a lot, but I feel like this is the most optimistic the Jazz have looked in forever because they got a ton of draft picks. They fleeced the Minnesota Timberwolves for a center who is statistically just as efficient as Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. What's his name?
I can't remember his name for the life of me.
He's the white guy, though, on the Jazz. We'll throw up a picture.
Yeah.
But... yeah, he literally is...
And we'll type in his name, too. We'll put his name on the screen. I can't remember who his name is. Yeah. They weren't good enough to...
Yeah. But, yeah, they literally gave up essentially nothing to get, like, 4 players and 5 draft picks?
4 players and... It was 4 draft picks, I think.
4 players, 4 draft picks.
Yeah, I'm
and
pretty
2
sure.
pick swaps or something.
Yeah. So, and Minnesota doesn't look like they're trending upwards, so those picks could be huge.
How are they in a lower seed this year than they were last year? Because they were the 7th seed last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could have been the 7th seed if they had beaten the Lakers.
But they're not, and they did win the first game in the play-in tournament last year.
Yeah.
So they are a lower seed, which is just crazy that they gave up their entire future.
So we would also put the Minnesota Timberwolves as a team that failed because they mortgaged their whole future. Like Minnesota they were so bright and budding, and then I don't know why they sold the farm for Rudy Gobert.
Well, why'd they give up D'Angelo Russell for
Mike Conley? Because that was in the 3-team.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me either. Mike Conley's a better defender though, huh? Is he?
Yeah, well, he's a better defender. He's, I don't know.
Because I'm like, you had all those picks. You had D'Angelo Russell, who's like a solid, he can be a part of a big 3.
He's a great third option.
Yeah. And averages 18 points a game. You had him, all your draft picks, and you didn't have, Towns can shoot threes, but you didn't have Towns and Gobert clogging up the middle. I'm like, why did you get another center?
I remember when the trade first happened, I was like, did they forget they already had a center in Karl Anthony Towns? Yeah. To me, if you were going to get Rudy Gobert, especially because I feel like Rudy Gobert is a really overpaid JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
For what he brings to you. He's phenomenal on defense, but what he brings offensively is so negative that it almost negates anything positive he brings on defense. Because you can't score to make up the difference.
What did you hear what they were saying on First Things First? How?
Oh, I heard what they were saying, but
we won't copy them.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We can edit that part out. No, but how he's like only he's 0.5 points per 100 possessions worse.
Yeah.
Than his defense makes up.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like a non-factor.
Yeah.
Well, and we were cursed to watch Jazz games all this time. Do you know how many times I would see them, like, look, Gobert would be calling for the ball, which props to Gobert because he actually calls for the ball on offense, which Karl Anthony Towns doesn't even do half of the time.
Yeah.
But he'd call for the ball, they'd throw it to him, and I don't know if he's got super small hands or what, but he would just lose the ball.
I just don't think he's that
so
coordinated.
Many times. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know why they gave up everything for Clint Capella couldn't do what he does.
Oh, yeah.
If not, he's better. Like,
one thing I will say, Rudy Gobert's agent, GOAT.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Man.
Somehow he's making max money. And, yeah.
For not being a max level type player.
Not even in the realm, in my opinion. But, yeah.
Two other teams that I think have a bright future, going back to that, is the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. Meaning, like, not like next year they're going to be good, but like in 5 years, I think they'd be a top 4 seed.
Yeah.
Especially because the Spurs are already set with the coaching.
Yeah.
Because Popovich, until he says he's going to retire, but Popovich is there for forever. Both of these teams, they got all the young talent, all the draft picks.